Good morning, everyone. My name is Thomas Bostrom Jørgensen, and I'm the CEO at Encap Security. And this is John Berman, Encap's European Sales Director. Encap Security is a Norwegian IT security company that provides authentication and application security software to the financial services industry. Our Smarter Authentication platform has been deployed by and is offered through some of the largest fintech companies in Europe and the US. And we're here today to show you that when it comes to user authentication, one size fits no one. I think everyone in the room agrees that the password is the thing of the past and the device is the thing of the future. After all, the device has all the built-in capabilities required to offer user-friendly and secure authentication. And the market is now awash with new device-based authentication solutions such as Touch ID, voice and face biometrics, and several others. However, many of these only work for certain devices or are only appropriate for certain channels. And this creates a big headache for the bank's CIO. Because what is the right mix of solutions? And how do I differentiate and avoid authentication spaghetti? Encap fixes this problem by plugging the native security capabilities of billions of existing smartphones and tablets into an extensible architecture. Our approach lets the bank offer the authentication solution that is most appropriate for each device, user, and transaction and leveraging proven cryptographic standards. We can easily implement new authentication methods as they develop, and instead of solely relying on tamper-proof hardware, our solution is secured by a deep multi-layered tampering and malware protection. And what does that actually look like? Well, that's what we're here to show you. The core element of Encap's authentication solution is the device itself and the pairing of the device to the user ID held by the bank. It makes the device the have element and the primary authentication factor. In this demo, John is logged into West Springfield's online banking application on the web in his iPad, and the Encap native authentication library is built into West Springfield's mobile banking app on the iPhone 6 Plus. John initiates a one-time activation process on the web to pair the iPhone 6 Plus to his user ID. During activation, the Encap client on the iPhone 6 Plus detects the smartphone's authentication capabilities and matches them with the methods that are approved by the bank. As a result, he's offered to choose between Touch ID, voice biometrics, and the PIN code. Behind the scenes, the authentication credentials are being captured by the Encap server, and they're paired to the user ID held by the bank. The Encap server is, of course, installed on-premise and integrated with the bank's infrastructure. The Encap platform allows a user to pair any number of devices to the user ID. So John will now pair a second device, the iPhone 5, all the way to the right. And this will give him choice for which device to authenticate from, as we'll see in a minute. The second device doesn't have fingerprint capabilities, so John is offered to choose between PIN code and voice biometrics. He chooses PIN as his method, and then he selects his personal PIN and gives the device an alias. The bank is now in a position to serve all its applications, channels, and devices from a single platform. And to illustrate this, John will log out of the online bank and attempt to log back in again. This time, he'll be asked which of the paired devices he wants to authenticate from. He chooses the iPhone 6, Encap sends it a push message and triggers the authentication mechanism chosen for that specific device, which was Touch ID. And John is asked to present his finger to complete the login. We'll now show an Encap authentication to the mobile banking app on the iPhone 5. John taps login in the app, and this time Encap invokes PIN authentication, as this was the method chosen for that specific device. Please note that the device is now both running the native mobile banking app and doubling as a banking-grade authentication credential. Encap can even integrate with the bank's risk engine and enable the bank to vary and combine authentication factors based on the risk involved in each individual transaction. So back in the browser, John is now setting up a quick payment in the online bank. And based on the data provided by Encap and other data sources, the risk engine flags this as a low-risk transaction and decides to step down and only challenge the user for the have element. This triggers an authorize or cancel dialog. So instead of asking for the second factor, we're lowering user friction, which is critical to driving adoption. So when it comes to user authentication, one size fits no one. Financial institutions cannot rely on different point authentication solutions alone. The market is just too global, it's moving too fast, it's too fragmented, and user expectations are frankly too great. Encap's platform bridges the requirements for scalable banking-grade authentication with the native security capabilities of the user's device. We combine an extensible architecture with a proven track record and global implementation capabilities. And finally, Encap facilitates user adoption by making authentication more secure and more user-friendly. So, to conclude, Encap is truly the cure for the CIO's headache. My time is up, and I hope you've enjoyed the demo. We've only shown you a tiny part of what we offer, so please come and see us at the booth during recess, and we will answer any question you may have. Thank you.